Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode in our NCAA Football 13 Coaching Career Dynasty. It is I, Coach Daredevil, and as you see on the screen, we are taking on Troy this week, who is 2-5 overall, 0-3 in the conference. So we should get the victory, but you never know. You never know in the game of college football. They are rated C across the board, so they have better overall or better grade ratings than us, and they have a few more points per game than us. But everything else, we are ahead of them in. Better total offense, rush offense, pass offense. The number one total defense and the number one rush defense in the nation. Although, as I mentioned in the last episode, it's kind of skewed a little bit. Better pass defense and better turnover differential. Despite the fact that we are -3, we actually have a better turnover differential than our opponent. So that's interesting to see. We do have a prospect visiting this one. Thomas is a full free safety who we're trying to lock in. Is visiting, so obviously it would be helpful to get the victory. Looking at as the same as last week, we were doing this live on Twitch over at CR Daredevil on Twitch, so you can definitely go follow me there and get future streams, including potentially another stream of this in the future. Yeah, looking at the schedule ahead of time before we started this app recording. The other game that we were keeping an eye on in Sun Belt this week is Arkansas State at FIU. So that would be a huge game. If Arkansas State wins that, then that means that next week's going to be basically kind of a game for the conference. Obviously, it kind of depends how the rest of the season plays out, but that would be huge for us. And if FIU wins, then it really becomes a three-way battle at the top. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But they do technically, in-game, they play the night before our game. So we should be able to get a final down on the ticker down below for that game shortly into this one. It is raining again. How many times is it going to freaking rain for our games? 3 of the last 4 weeks, we have had rainy games. Great. Well, Cunningham there. 120 for 199 on the season, 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Last game he looked pretty decent. He looked pretty decent. He only went 12 of 17, but he did, get a touchdown. He threw for about 240 yards. Obviously, we're coming off of a big loss though last week, not score-wise, but a big loss in the sense that Brett Daniel, our starting running back, was put out for a few weeks. Officially, it did count that game, so he's out for 4 weeks, including this one. So he will be back for our regular season finale at Louisiana Monroe. But obviously, losing him for 2 really big games coming up, that being the Arkansas State game and the FIU game, is going to be a huge loss because he's obviously really good for us, and he's going to have to, we're going to have to see Duncan and Troy Beck step up over the next few weeks to help the defense, help the rushing game, that is, be as dominant as it has been in our games previously. We're getting the ball to start off the game here on a 1st and 10 situation, starting at the 25-yard line. In theory, this should be a game we should win, but you never know what happens. You never know what could truly happen. As we're going to start the game with a pitch to the right there, and already a flag. Aaron Duncan took that one for a decent yardage, but we are already starting the game off with a holding call. What a way to start off the game. Last game, we surprised the hell out of everybody by only having like 3 holding calls. So we'll have to see what this week ends up doing, as we already have one in the very first play on offense this week. So, 1st and 19 now. Backed up to about the 16-yard line. Cunningham's going to be back to pass on 1st down. He's looking, and he's just going to throw it away. He had Duncan there for a check down, but for some reason didn't throw it to him. As there you go, we see it. FIU defeats Arkansas State 41-34. And that makes things really interesting. FIU defeats Arkansas State, and that's really going to make things interesting in the coming weeks. Because now, if we win this game, that puts us atop the conference, but we have to play Arkansas State next week, who would have one loss. So, that play gets blown up in the backfield. My God. The defense saw that one coming a mile away. Or at least 56 there on the defense did. Not a strong start for the Owls here in this game, as they're backed up to a 3rd and 24 now. I suppose before we can worry about Arkansas State next week, we need to be focusing on Troy this week. Cunningham back to pass here on 3rd and 24. He's going to throw it. He's going to complete it. But unfortunately, that was caught out of bounds. So they're going to have to punt it away. But the booth is going to review it. I mean, I guess it gives us a little bit better yards to try to... It's definitely not a first down. He did technically step out. But we've seen other ones. We've seen weirder things happen in this. Yeah, like I said, we've seen weirder things. Well, they counted that as a completion. So that was an 8-yard completion there by Scott, but it was still 4th and 11. So it at least gives them a little bit more yards to kick out to try to punt that ball away. Troy unable to do anything with the ball, though. And so they give it right back to us at about our own 7-yard line. Eric Young. Don't fire Eric. Didn't realize he was doing returns for us. 5:16 left in the first quarter. Handoff on 1st and 10. And that play gets blown up in the backfield as well. See, this is where it's going to hurt. Duncan is the type of guy who he can have a few explosive runs, but he has a lot of negative runs, a lot more negative runs than Brett Daniel did. So this is where things are going to start getting hurt. Is they need the grinding power of Brett Daniel, and they don't have it. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the run game is the next few weeks. 2nd and 11 here. Cunningham had to get rid of that ball. It looked like they're going for a quick screen, running back or a wide receiver screen, and that did not work out too well. So that's going to be a 3rd and 11 here. And the offense is struggling right now. They don't have Brett Daniel in there to chew up yardage, and they are struggling here to start off this game. Cunningham throws it, completes it, but it's just shy of the first down. Not sure if they're going to try going for it there or not. They will not. So Smith with the catch for 11 yards, but because it's 4th and inches, for some reason, they're going to punt the ball away anyway. And Troy is able to get down the field and get a touchdown. So it's a 7-0 ball game now with 3:23 left in the first quarter. That is not good. FAU is going to have to start playing from behind. Faking the handoff here on 1st down. Cunningham's going to throw it, and that's going to be picked off. Interception on that one. He underthrew it to Stewart. He should have tried to throw it a little bit harder. Stewart could have caught that one because he had a step or two ahead of the defender there, but unfortunately he underthrew it, and the defender is able to pick that one off. It's not looking good. Not looking good for the Owls right now. Troy's unable to do anything with the ball there, despite the fact that they were right there. I don't know if they missed a field goal or what, but nevertheless, FAU at their own 20-yard line here. 3 drives to start off this game, and all 3 were not good results. 2 3-and-outs and then an interception. Handoff on 1st down. Daniel's able to pick up... Duncan, that is able to pick up a positive gain on that one, as it's a 2nd and 5 now. Picks up 5 yards. So at least they got that going on this drive here. 2nd and 5, about the 25-ish yard line. Handoff once again. And there is a penalty on the play, which is going to bring this back. Another holding call on the Owls. This time the right guard getting called for it. It'll be a 2nd and 12 now. From the 18. And the Owls offense is struggling in this game. You can tell that the loss of Brett Daniel is hurting them. I mean, obviously, you know, the penalties are hurting too, but you can tell that the loss of Brett Daniel is hurting them in this game. Joe Hamilton with that reception there gets it to a third and a little bit more manageable. It'll be a 3rd and 3 here. Can they pick up the first down here? Third and 3. And you got to imagine that both FIU and Arkansas State would be watching this game closely, because FAU losing here would be a big deal as well. Throwing that one out, that's a completion for a first down. Nice completion there by Smith, the backup, the second string tight end. Surprisingly, he's getting more action in this game than normal. Which is kind of interesting. First and 10 here at the 42-yard line. Cunningham back in the gun. Looking for something here on 1st and 10. He's looking, he's looking, he's looking. He's going to throw that one away. Couldn't get anybody open. Couldn't get anyone open on that one. We have a 2nd and 10 here. 1:11 left before the end of the first quarter. Turn around and hand off here on 2nd down, and that one goes for a couple yards. Not much, but it is a positive gain, so there's that. As it's now 3rd and 7. Can the Owls pick this one up? Or will what has become their best drive of the game so far fail once again? Cunningham is back in the gun. He's got one guy in the backfield with him. Cunningham's looking. He's going to throw it to the left there. Completes it. Enough for the first down. Scott with that reception there. On the slant. Across the field. Got open enough. And not only got open enough, but was open enough to be able to get some yardage on that run and get the first down. As a Florida Atlantic fan, you love to see it. Keeps the drive alive. And across midfield. As the Owls are trying to get something going here on this drive. Handoff here on 1st and 10. Duncan fighting forward for about 6 yards. Nice run from him there. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 4, and that is going to be the final play of the first quarter. As it is a 7-0 ball game in the favor of Troy. But the Florida Atlantic Owls are driving. They are across midfield. And they are trying to get to a position where they can get some points on the board and try to either make this a closer game or hopefully try to tie things up as well. I don't know what all this is. The defense is celebrating like they just got a stop on 3rd down or something. 2nd and 4 here. Referee comes sprinting in. About the 37-ish yard line here. Handoff on 2nd and 4. That play goes for about a yard, but there's going to be a penalty there. And another holding call. It continues. This time the left tackle gets called for holding. So 2nd and 14 now. Not what you like to see, obviously. Well, 2nd and 14. Cunningham's back in the gun. He's going to take the pass. He's going to throw it. He's going to complete it to Brian Stewart there for a gain of 8. It's going to bring it up by 3rd and 6 here now. As we see that Michigan is beating number 7 Nebraska 10-7 right now. So that's interesting for them. Is that ball just floating or is that just laying there? I can't tell. I think it was just laying there. The Owls are 2 for 3 on third down conversions in this game. 3rd and 6. A little bit more manageable to try to convert. Can they get this here? Back to pass. Looking for someone. He's going to throw it. And that one was just about picked off. In fact, that probably should have been picked off, honestly. Why are they having me do this? That's weird. I think they were thinking I should try to go for it, but I'm not going for it. We're not going to try to convert a 4th and 6. So the drive, unfortunately, fails, and FAU have to punt the ball away. So that's unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. They get pretty good field position here on this to start off this drive, though. I'm not sure what happened here. I don't know if that was they punted it or... I'll check really quick here. Yeah, it's just a punt. They were just too backed up to get much of a punt going there. So 5:24 left before halftime. 7-0 ball game, but Florida Atlantic are starting on Troy's side of the field here with this drive. 1st and 10. Duncan's going to take it around the right-hand side. No penalty flags. He's going to take it inside the 10-5 and into the end zone. What a run there by Aaron Duncan. What a run. First play of the drive, and he takes it for 45 yards into the end zone on the pitch there to the right. Duncan was able to get around the defenders, and he just had open field ahead of him to keep running towards that end zone. What a run there to get Florida Atlantic on the board. And the extra point is good, so it's a 7-0 ball game with 5:16 left in the second quarter. What a way to tie things back up there. That's a way to get some momentum for the Owls at this point. You love to see it. Troy unable to do anything with their drive there. So Florida Atlantic have the ball back. 4:46 left in the second quarter. They have the ball, decent field position. About the 38-yard line. Not too bad there. 4:46 left in the first half. The turnaround handoff on first down. And look at that. Duncan's going to take another one right up the middle. Another big run for Aaron Duncan. That's the kind of stuff we need to see for him to get the running game going for the Owls. Daniel's out. We can't depend on him this week. So we need Aaron Duncan to make those big runs like that. And he's doing it so far. As another big run there up the middle. But this one was up the middle, that is. Gets a first down. Gets him on the Trojans side of the field. And gets them moving here. 1st and 10. 4:30 left before halftime. Cunningham looking to pass here on first down. Rifles it in for the first down. Lester Smith with another reception. Man, he's stepping up in this game. I don't know if he's had much more than like a couple of receptions all season, but in this game so far he's got 3 of them, I believe. He is stepping up on this one. And you have to wonder maybe if that's, I don't know if that's because of Duncan being, or Daniel being out. Maybe he's being slotted into some of those passing ones that Daniel probably would have been normally in. I'm not sure, but defense jumped there a little bit. Handoff to Scott, who's going to take it around the right-hand side for a jet sweep for a good 3 yards. Not bad. Can't complain about positive gains. That's for sure. Second and 7, about the 26-yard line here. Faking the handoff here, throwing it. He's got a man there, but oh wait, he did catch that. How the hell did he catch that? That's a touchdown for the Owls. That ball looked like that was getting thrown behind Stewart. How did he? I got to see a replay of that. It looked like that got thrown behind him. He throws that up. Cunningham throws that up. Oh, Stewart has to spin around to catch that. He spun around with that ball coming up a yard behind him, and he was able to catch that, spin forward, and get into the end zone for a touchdown. And that, just like that, it is a 13-7 ball game now. And the extra point is good, so it's a 14-7 ball game now with 3:42 left before halftime. What a turnaround! What a turn of events here for the Owls. They had They had a lot of rough starts to start off the game. They had 2 3-and-outs that were inside their own 20. Then they had an interception. Then they had a drive that went a decent run, got them across midfield, but couldn't get anything with it as they had to punt it away. And now back-to-back drives have led to touchdowns. One off of a big run by Aaron Duncan, and one here with a 26-yard touchdown to Brian Stewart to put them up 14-7 here. Troy unable to do anything as the momentum has clearly shifted back to the Florida Atlantic Owls here. 2:35 left in the second quarter. This is the team we need to see the rest of the season. This is the team we need to see. We need to see the team who's going to keep fighting and who's going to keep trying to get themselves into position to win ball games. Nice little pitch out there. Just about, that is enough for the first down. Nice reception there. Nice reception there. Nebraska gets another touchdown on the board. They're now only down 17-14 to Michigan. Still before halftime there. Not skipping past these as fast because I'm trying to see if they're going to give me any other highlights, but it looks like that's the only game that they're going to keep giving me updates on throughout this, so we have to start skipping past that a little bit. As that was Dan Baker, the fullback, coming out of the backfield to catch that one for a first down. Good to see there. You love to see the fullback getting some action and getting them some success as well. Shotgun here. For Cunningham, he's going to hand off to Duncan, who gets a yard. He does officially get a yard on that one there. So coming up on 2 minutes left before halftime. Can the Owls keep the momentum going? They do not get the ball to start off the second half. That does go to Troy. But Aaron Duncan says, I don't care. I'm going to run this ball up the middle for a first down. 9 carries for 86 yards and a touchdown. I mean, obviously it's a little skewed because of his 46-yard run that he had for that touchdown earlier, but still, that's pretty good stats for Aaron Duncan here, who's not used to being the number one guy. He's not used to being the starter, taking a lot of the snaps, but he's doing what he can with what he has. Cunningham's going to throw that deep, but that was... Wait, was that caught? Did Brian Stewart somehow come away with that reception? That looked like that was caught by the defender or dropped. We've got to see this one. The defender tried to put a hand up, but somehow Stewart was able to come down with that completion. What a reception by Brian Stewart. Brian Stewart with some pretty impressive grabs in this game so far. Minute 29 left before halftime. 1st and 10. Cunningham's back in the backfield by himself in the gun. He's just going to throw it down here. Pick up 4 yards on that one. Scott with the reception. Brings up a 2nd and 6. They are inside the red zone right now. What a reception by Brian Stewart on that previous play. That was very impressive indeed. Where has this Owls offense been all year? Minute left before halftime. Cunningham's going to fake the handoff here. He's looking for something. He's looking. He's just going to check it down again. Whatever he had didn't open up. So he throws it to Baker for a couple yards. So he can bring up a 3rd and 4 here. As it was clear he was looking for something, but it just wasn't opening up there. 3rd and 4 here, 30 seconds left before halftime. They do have all 3 timeouts right now. We'll have to see what they end up doing here. Cunningham, he's going to throw it. And that is completed for a first down. 1st and goal, the Owls do call a timeout. I don't know what the heck just happened there. They didn't bother showing us that then. 19 seconds left before halftime at the 7-yard line, 1st and goal. They do have 2 timeouts left, so if they don't get in the end zone, but they do keep the clock running, they can call timeouts. Cunningham, back to pass. He's going to throw it. It's going to be completed. 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line. Can they get into the end zone? 15 seconds left. They do have one timeout still. They're going to turn around. They're going to hand off to Aaron Duncan, who's going to get into the end zone. He's going to leap over the line and get into the end zone. His second touchdown of the game. And FAU goes up 20-7 here. Nice leap into the end zone there. And the extra point makes it a 21-7 ball game with 11 seconds left before halftime. This is what we need from the Owls offense. This is what we need to see. Unfortunately, the defense gives up a touchdown right out of halftime. So 5:29 left in the third quarter. It is a 21-14 ball game for Florida Atlantic here. Can the Owls keep things going? Can they keep up the momentum? Yes, they gave up a touchdown just now, but the offense has been looking good. Can they keep momentum on their side here? Cunningham's back to pass on first down. Completes it to Stewart. Nice 9-yard gain there. It's going to be a second and short scenario. Oh, we get an update on another game. As was number 8 Wisconsin is up 21-17 over number 16 Penn State here. Number 8 Wisconsin is 5-2. Number 16 Penn State is 7-1. And yet those rankings aren't reversed. Okay. Weird thing sometimes. 2nd and 1 here. At about the 34-yard line. The Owls are driving. Trying to keep this lead. Doing what they can here. Faking the handoff on 2nd and 1. He threw it to Baker right away, and Baker was unable to get anything. So now it's going to bring up a 3rd and 2. I don't know why he decided to throw it to Baker that quickly, but nevertheless, it happened. And so it's a 3rd and 2 here. 4:30 left in the third quarter. And handoff to the left-hand side there. Duncan's just going to take it around the end for the first down. Good stuff there from Aaron Duncan. 11 carries for 95 yards in this game. 2 touchdowns as well. Good stuff to see. You love to see it. Sending a man in motion on first down. It's a handoff. That's going nowhere. That jet sweep does not go anywhere as Duncan gets tackled in the backfield for a couple yards. Jet sweeps, infamously, not a lot of success for the Owls. But for some reason, the game keeps trying to have us run them. Nevertheless, 3:45 and counting in the third quarter. 2nd and 12 here. Handoff to Duncan once again. He's able to pick up a few yards on that one. So it's going to be a 3rd and 8, a little bit more manageable. As the Owls have that touchdown lead here. And now they're looking to pick up this 3rd and 8. Try to keep this drive alive. At about the 41-yard line. 1 man in the backfield, 3 wide. Cunningham back to pass. He slips a little bit, able to get himself back under control, and able to throw that one to Joe Hamilton for the first down. Even after slipping a little bit, he's still able to recover and throw that one to Hamilton, who gets the first down and keeps this drive going. At the Trojans' 39 or 49-yard line now. 1st and 10 here. Pitch it out. Duncan around the right-hand side. Picks up a couple. Picks up 2 yards on that one there. The Owls offense, as we're seeing, the momentum's not completely out the door right now. They are still going. They're still keeping things alive. Even after Troy closes back to a one possession lead, they're still keeping things going. And this drive has just been killing so much time off the third quarter as well. Joe Hamilton with the reception there. He's a little banged up after the play, though. 3rd and 2 here. Hopefully he's not too hurt. 5 of 7 on 3rd down conversions in this game. Can they pick up another one here? They have been eating up so much time off the clock in this quarter here with this drive. Can they keep it going here? Handoff on 3rd and 2, and that goes nowhere. Duncan gets blown up in the backfield by the defender. So 4th and 2. It popped up there just briefly, but Hamilton has back spasms. He should be back in the game here soon. So a long drive there that unfortunately did not end up working out for them. But they were able to take off a lot of time off the clock. Troy unable to do anything with their drive. So the Owls with the ball back, 29 seconds left before halftime, or before third quarter end, that is. 1st and 10 here. Faking the handoff on 1st and 10. He's going to throw it, completes it. Joe Hamilton with another big reception. He had some back spasms. He came out of the game. He came back in the game and catches that one for a 1st down. 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. The Owls trying to keep things going here, trying to keep the drive, or trying to, keep their lead. Pitch it on 1st and 10, and that goes back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all that gets, as they were coming in on a blitz on that one. But that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. The end of the 3rd quarter, and it is a 21-14 ball game here in this battle that Florida Atlantic needs to win if they want to stay in a good position in the conference. Obviously, if they lose, it's not a huge deal because Troy's not going to be fighting for the conference anytime soon, so they won't have to worry about a tiebreaker with them. But obviously, that would put them into a 3-way tie with Arkansas State and FIU for 1 loss in the conference, and that would be a struggle already. It obviously would help to keep the to remain undefeated in the conference, because then you can have that 1-game cushion should you lose to either Arkansas State or FIU, depending on. Handoff here on 2nd and 10. Nice run to the right there. Duncan with that pickup of 6. I mean, obviously, if you lose a game, then both teams are 1 losses, and the other team would have the tiebreaker over us, but still, it doesn't hurt to have that cushion just in case. 5 of 8 on 3rd down conversions. They have a 3rd and 4 here to pick up. Empty backfield, 5 wide. They did get the defense to jump this time, though, so this is a free play. And Cunningham falls to the ground. But that is a free play. That's going to be a 1st down. Thanks to the offsides there. So you love to see it. First and 10, 6:26 left in the game. They're on Troy's side of the field as well. And Duncan's going to kick that one around the right-hand side there for a nice 9-yard gain. Love to see it. Studio update sees that number 14 Stanford has fallen on the road to BYU 28-21, and that's a pretty big upset because BYU was 1-7 heading into that game. They just upset a number 14 ranked team. That's huge. Good for BYU there. 2nd and 1 here. Coming up on 6 minutes left in the game. Can the Owls run out the clock here and hold on to the victory? Although obviously they wouldn't mind putting more points on the board as well, I imagine. Handoff here, and that goes nowhere. That gets blown up in the backfield. Handoff, he got stuck behind one of his blockers, and that didn't help things out at all. So it's going to be a 3rd and 2 here now. Can the Owls pick this one up? 3rd and 2. Back to pass. Cunningham slips a little bit. Comes back, throws it, completes it. Is that gonna be like a signature thing now? Like he's gonna slip a little bit and then throw a completion to Joe Hamilton? Is that gonna be a signature move of his now? Slip, throw it to Joe Hamilton, convert a 3rd down. It's the 2nd time in this game that he's done it. It's starting to become a consistent thing here. 5:05 left in the game. 1st and 10 here. Cunningham's going to be passing on 1st down. He's going to overthrow his receiver. Jones was the intended receiver, ended up missing that one, so 2nd and 10 now. At Troy's 25-yard line. Obviously, Troy wants to try to get a stop here on defense, keep this a one-possession game. Handoff here, along their left-hand side there. It's going to be about 4 yards gained. So Duncan, able to gain 4 on that one, brings up a 3rd and 6. Bit manageable. Six of 9 on 3rd down conversions. Can they convert another one here? Less than 4.5 minutes left before the end of the game. Back to pass. Slant. 1st down. Brian Stewart with the reception for the 1st down there on that slant play. As Michigan pulls off a big-time upset over Nebraska. 41-17. Number 7 Nebraska falling at home to Michigan by a lot. Michigan goes to 4-4 on the season, too. So they'll be a top 10 team knocked out of the top 10 rankings for sure. Here we've got a 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. One prior trip in the red zone in this game, and that was a touchdown. Handoff on 1st down. Troy Beck coming into the game around the left-hand side there, picking up 5 yards. So 2nd and 5 now. Or Tony Beck, sorry. Why did I call him Troy Beck? So I called him Troy because we're taking on Troy. I saw Troy down there, and it made me think of that was his first name. Tony Beck with that 5-yard run there. 2nd and 5 here. Handoff again to Duncan, who's going to take it in right up the middle. And he missed getting into the end zone. He is a little banged up after the play, though. Might have had the wind knocked out of him. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. He's kind of holding his side a little bit, so that's not good. Hopefully it's something very minor. Obviously, we do not want to have to depend on our 3rd-string running back to be the starter. 1st and goal here, inside the 1. Handoff to Beck, who gets into the end zone for a touchdown. I believe that's his 1st touchdown of his career here. As he's able to fight forward and get into the end zone there for the touchdown. Tony Beck making this a 27, now with the extra point, 28-14 ball game with 3:13 left in the game. Not impossible for Troy to come back, but it seems a little difficult for them to do so. They are unable to do anything with that one. Duncan has a strained back. He's out for the rest of the game. But that's fine because 2:08 left. They have a 2-possession lead. And at this point, they're just going to be looking to run out the clock. Crazy enough, this is like the most points that FAU has scored since like the Alabama game, I think. Which is insane. As they have put on a game here today. Gain of 1 on that run there. They have put forward 3 rushing touchdowns, helping show that although they don't have the constant positive rushing attack from Brett Daniel that Duncan and even Beck are able to explode for some plays that gets them into good positions there. Beck's going to take that one along the right-hand side, or the left-hand side there, pick up 8. So 3rd and 1 here after the timeout. .201 left here. If the Owls can convert this first down, that's pretty much ball game. Troy won't be able to really stop the clock at that point. Slant completed, first down. Brian Stewart with the reception, and that is basically going to do it. I mean, technically, I think they might have to try to convert another first down, but they could, in theory, run out the clock here. But obviously, getting another first down would be helpful. And Beck's going to try to get it as he runs for 7 yards on that one. Running out the clock at this point. Or at least attempting to. Like I said, it shouldn't be a problem. But you never know sometimes. You never know. Handoff on 2nd and 3. Falls just short of the first down marker. But like I said, I think at this point it's more about getting those it's more about getting the first downs than it is about getting it's not the first downs, it's more about getting the positive yardage than it is about getting the first down right away. If the game was smart, if we don't convert here on 3rd down, it would let us run out the clock. But the game's not smart like that. It will try to punt it away immediately on 4th down. But we don't have to worry about that because Beck's going to convert the first down. And that is going to be the ball game. Nope, that's not going to be the ball game. They're going to have to call one more play. Because the play clock was running during that while the game clock was stopped. So kneel down formation, victory formation, if you will, and this is going to be a 28-14 victory for FAU here at home. And boy, I said at the start of the season that that this is going to be a weird year. Especially when we went through the first couple games and we were 1-3 out of our non-conference games. And I said that this is going to be difficult because the previous years we had been 3-1 in our non-conference games, both years, if I remember right. So I said that this could be an interesting year if we can't if we're going to start off that way. But then we've decided to go through. Now, granted, again, no disrespect to the teams we've played, but granted, we've been playing some of the easier teams in our conference. But we've seen us take losses in previous years to some of those easier teams in the conference. So for this year to be starting off 4-0 in the conference is huge for the Owls. They're in control of the conference right now, although they do have 2 big games coming up. Aaron Duncan, 21 carries, 122 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground. A great way to step up with Daniel being taken out of the game, or with Daniel being taken out for a few weeks. A great way to see him step up indeed. So there you go. A victory for the Owls over the Trojans, that is, over Troy Trojans. Going to 4-0 in the conference. And, oh boy. Setting up one hell of a game next. As the next game will be against the against the Arkansas State Red Wolves, which will be a big game indeed. Let us look through the scores stuff real quick, and then we'll take a look at the conference standings. All right, we already know about this result. FIU pulling off that victory there puts them to 3-1 as well. Middle Tennessee State and Western Kentucky. Middle Tennessee State getting a victory. Good for them. And then the Louisiana team's going at it. And Lafayette's the one who picks off the victory there. So, where does that leave us conference standing-wise right now? It shows Arkansas State ahead of us, but that's because the week hasn't gone through yet. So we are the only undefeated team in the conference right now. 4-0, 5-3 overall. Arkansas State comes in is now 3-1. FIU is now 3-1. North Texas still 2-1. We have the tiebreaker over North Texas. We beat them. Next week, though. Next week is us and the Arkansas State Red Wolves. We need that victory to finally have a chance to win the conference. If we lose to Arkansas State, then things become muddy. Because if we lose to them, we would definitely need them to take another loss throughout the season while remaining undefeated, while winning out the rest of the season. But do remember, we do have a game against FIU coming up as well. And FIU has beat us the last couple seasons. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's definitely not gonna be a cakewalk, especially with Brett Daniel out now. It's gonna be tough, but you gotta have faith in the Owls. You gotta have faith in the Owls to try to pull off what they couldn't the last couple years and try to get a conference title. So thank you all for watching here on YouTube. We will catch you next Saturday for that big game where we go to Arkansas State and play what could potentially be a strong. It's really, in theory, it potentially could be the conference championship game. I mean, obviously, we still have the game against FIU in a couple weeks. And if they win out by that point, and we win out by that point, then if they beat us in that game, they could technically get the conference that way. But this is the first step. We have a 2-game conference championship battle. We need to win both to get the championship. If we beat Arkansas State and we beat FIU, at this point there would be nobody to be able to stop us from getting that conference title. So we need to win those games. We will have to see how that plays out. But on YouTube, we will see you next Saturday for another episode in the series. And on the channel, we will see you tomorrow for yet another video.